Hello and welcome to Tarbell Field here in Trumansburg. It's senior night for the Trumansburg Blue Raiders girls soccer team as they host the Lansing Bobcats. There's a starting whistle. Trudell kicks it back and we're set to go. Charging up the right side goes Hannah Brennan. It's taken away and Petrich had it for Lansing temporarily. Brennan got it back, passed it forward. There's Wright. Augustine gets it. Give and go to Gracie Wright up the right side, but she is offside, and Lansing gets a free kick.
Yeah, it looked about around a foot offside. That's always those early mistakes, Dan. Yeah, you'll get that.
Yeah. You saw Wright trying to time her rush, but couldn't quite get it before getting past the defense. Abby Jones sends it into the middle for Lansing, where it's knocked down by Lucia Okuma, and she turns it over, gets back to Lansing. Petrich takes it back, and it's chipped in off the head of Jones. Petrich chases it down. Brennan knocks it loose, and it's knocked out of bounds by Vence of Lansing. There'll be a Trumansburg throw-in.
It was a nifty little header right there by Abby Jones. Try to get some momentum going down the line.
Rosie Morse throws it in and kicks it down the right sideline, but it veers out of bounds. Lansing will throw it in just ahead of midfield. It settles down for Trudell of Trumansburg and kicked downfield by Wright. Down the right sideline, Trudell chasing it. Ashley Bell gets there first. Tries to kick it off of Trudell, but it stops, and now it gets kicked upfield by Bell. Instead kept in the zone by Trumansburg. Trudell knocked off the ball by Vence, and here's a counter from Lansing just ahead of the reach of Karina Petrich, who couldn't counter. And it goes out of bounds for a Trumansburg throw-in.
Yeah, that's one of those moments, Dan, if you're running down the line. If you were just there just a half second faster, you could have gotten there and had a little breakaway. But one of those things. Early into the game, though.
At midfield, Ashley Bell tries to kick it downfield, but it goes off of Brennan. And now Ava Wilder takes it for Lansing. Wilder blocks a clear attempt and keeps it in Lansing's offensive zone. Wilder forces a turnover, sends a kick up the right side of the field, and can't get it to Heasley. Heasley causing havoc in the box here, but it's cleared out by Trumansburg. Not out of danger, though, as Sarah O'Callahan gets it for Lansing. And now finally Okuma able to send it a bit downfield, settles down for Wilder. Her kick goes off a Trumansburg defender, and again they try to go into the middle. Doesn't get to Petrich as Rosie Morse cuts it off, and now sends it upfield, just over the feet of Augustine. And now Trumansburg goes chasing again. O'Callahan takes it away. At the edge of the box, a turnover forced by Trumansburg and kicked out of bounds for a deep throw-in right next to the corner flag for Lansing.
I tell you what, Dan, this is something that we talked about in the pregame. This Lansing defense is playing way up right now, way past half.
Look at Ava Wilder, a defender right at the box right now for this throw-in. And the throw-in goes to Wilder. Right side of the box. And knocked off her feet and out of bounds. Another deep throw-in coming up for Lansing.
And this is going to put constant pressure on this Trumansburg defense. How are they going to cope with this?
And one thing we saw that can cause teams trouble, how do you break out when you're facing a team that has that much pressure on you? But there's a goal kick coming up for Trumansburg as it goes out of bounds past the end line.
Yeah, it relieves a little bit of the pressure. Lansing was just up there constantly trying to put the ball in the zone. Couldn't quite get it to go. Now we have a goal kick coming.
Sent downfield towards the left side for Trumansburg, and it reaches Trudell. Trudell, nice pass through the legs, finding Brennan, and it goes up to Augustine. Augustine tries to cross fields, doesn't put enough on that pass, and it does eventually reach Wright, though, as she takes it away from the Lansing defender, and now Wright turns upfield. She has Trudell ahead of her. One touch, trying to get past the defensive Bell. Does get past Bell. Wright rushing into the box. Has options. Kick saved by Borman.
That was just an instance going all the way up the field, just taking it yourself. It was a 4v3, though. Maybe want to cross it right at the last second there.
Nice save by the Bobcats, number 13,
Iris Borman, a junior captain for this team, and making a great save on Gracie Wright's rush. As you mentioned, there were passing options, but Wright tried to take it herself. Turnover forced by Trumansburg here. right ahead of midfield. But Ava Wilder puts an end to that rush and sends Lansing the other way. Vence goes out wide to Petrich. Now kick downfield for Heasley, who's just a freshman. Heasley tries to go into the middle, doesn't find a target. Instead, Brennan kicks it back towards midfield. Lansing retains possession. Here's Abby Jones sending one to the 18. And maybe a little casual on the pursuit of that by the defender, Anna Parker, for Trumansburg, but she's able to knock it out of bounds for a throw-in. Lansing throwing in right next to the corner flag on the right side of the field. Kicked out by Okuma, and now Trumansburg tries to break out. They have Bailey Trudell. A lot of open field here. Trudell on the left side, Gracie Wright in the middle. Trudell looking towards her right, pass to Wright, and now Wright spins and slows things down. Now she kicks ahead, enters the 18, settles down, crosses. Trudell doesn't get to her. Goes right back to Wright, and tries to find Brennan at the top of the box, does. And now Brennan resets. Okuma keeps it in the zone for Trumansburg. And finally cleared out by Reese Todai. And now here's a counter from Lansing. Emma Heasley rushing upfield. Gets slowed down by the Trumansburg defense and cut off. Great play by Faith Flood, who kicks it out of bounds for a Lansing throw-in.
Yeah, that was dangerous. You had a Lansing attacker sprinting up the right side and just able to get in front of that ball and break up the attack. That was huge.
A couple of great rushes for both teams on that possession. Now the throw-in goes into the 18. It's Vence. Doesn't handle it, and it's cleared out temporarily by Trumansburg, and Ava Wilder keeps it in the zone. Wilder pressured by Augustine, and a bit of a physical battle there, but Wilder wins it and gets it over to Petrich. Petrich challenged by a couple of Trumansburg defenders, gets it back out to Jones. Jones chips it in, goes off a foot of Brennan, and now they're finally able to clear it out, but it goes right to Wilder for Lansing. Wilder from deep off the goalpost of the football field, so a little high there from Wilder, and that'll be a goal kick for Trumansburg.
One thing I can't get over, Dan, Ava Wilder is playing way up, almost like a midfielder. But she's listed as a defender, and it's absolutely insane how far up she's playing. She's keeping the attack up for Lansing.
The goal kick goes right off of Emma Heasley, so Lansing has another possession here. They try to find Petrich on the left side, doesn't get a touch on it, and chases it down before it goes out of bounds. Rosie Morris gets it off of her, and they find Trudell. Trumansburg trying to rush upfield again. Gracie Wright, who showcased some speed early on in this game, goes upfield with it, doesn't get it past Torniciolo, and now it's at midfield where Brennan takes it for Trumansburg. Sends a pass up the right side for Gracie Wright, and another rush for T-Berg. Wright crosses, here's Trudell at the top of the box. Leaves one off for Brennan, Brennan shoots, and a diving stop for Gorman. Keeps the game scoreless with 32 to go here in the first half.
That was an excellent find by Bailey Trudell. She's been everywhere on this field.
Yeah.
She's been on the left side, the right side. You got the speedsters up top, and Bailey Trudell and Gracie Wright. But she's been absolutely everywhere for this Trumansburg attack.
Nice deep goal kick to midfield for Lansing. But T-Berg sends it right out of bounds for a Lansing throw-in. Some good offensive opportunities for Trumansburg so far, and Lansing, for that matter.
Now in for the Bobcats, number 9, Nicole Montague.
And Nicole Monte coming in for Lansing, subbing out Isa Vence. Throw-in coming in. It gets taken away by Trumansburg. And now Hannah Brennan moving upfield, sends a long pass ahead, and gets cut off by Reese Todai just before Isabel Morse can get there. And now Todai sends it up the right sideline where Abby Jones trying to chase it down. Instead, Haley Smith gets there first and kicks it out of bounds, setting up a Lansing throw-in about 20 yards ahead of midfield. Todai with a throw-in up the right sideline. It's Anna Parker battling Izzy Gustafson. And it goes out of bounds again.
First corner of the game.
We do have our first corner here, yes.
I just want to go back a few minutes. Reese Todai had 2 attackers on her.
Yeah.
Number 2, Karina Petrich on the corner kick for the Bobcats.
And the Lansing defender was able to step in and just clear it. Huge play.
Petrich sends it in. Okama cuts it right off for Trumansburg. Good defense by T-Berg there, but not able to clear. It goes right to Petrich. Petrich on the right side of the box sends a chip in, and it's caught by the goalkeeper, Abby Jackson. And now Trumansburg will break out.
That was a nice shot right there. Just couldn't get it over.
It goes to midfield. Augustine chips it ahead, but Ashley Bell is there to stop that rush from ever generating. Heasley sends it upfield, doesn't get past Jackson, or Parker rather, and now here they have Jones for Lansing. Sends a pass up the right side. Parker cuts it off. And now Heasley keeps in the offensive zone for Lansing. Chips one in to the 18. T-Berg keeps it out. Heasley gets it again. Heasley pressured by a couple of T-Berg defenders, and she's forced to send it into the middle where it's cleared out by T-Berg. Reese Todai, or rather Tornishilo, gives it off to Bell, whose clearing attempt lands right to T-Berg, but there's Ava Wilder stepping up to force the turnover. Wilder cuts to her left and loses her dribble, and Brennan's able to send it upfield to Augustine. Augustine to the right side for Wright. And now Wright charging upfield along the sideline. Again, gets past the defender, enters the box, right foot shot, outside of the net.
With that shot, 3-2 in favor of Trumansburg.
Now in for the Blue Raiders,
shot
number
side.
22, Julia Wright.
Just under 29 minutes to go in the first half. Still scoreless here between Lansing and T-Berg. They were scoreless for over 80 minutes the first time they met this season, before Lilani Haslinger and Abby Jones both scored for Lansing.
If you're Trumansburg, you want to keep putting pressure on that right side. Gracie Wright has had a ton of chances.
Yeah.
Keep that up on the right side, and you should be able to get something to break through.
The goal kick goes right to Hannah Brennan. Here's another T-Berg chance. Right on the right side. Cross is low, and it gets past Tornishilo, and a low shot is sent in and harmlessly from Isabel Morris, where it's picked up by Iris Borman, the Lansing keeper, who will punt it downfield.
Yeah, it's one of those instances, Dan, where you kind of want to take a touch and then take your shot.
Another chance here for T-Berg. Off the goal kick, and now Ava Wilder sends it upfield for Lansing. She has Emma Heasley. Faith Flood is able to cut off that rush and send it back upfield for T-Berg. And then a crossing pass is cut off by Petrich, and now it's a Lansing possession. Wilder at midfield. Dribble move to her left. Gets past 2 T-Berg players and now sends it to Petrich. Cut off by Rosie Morse and sends out of bounds for a Lansing throw-in.
This Lansing midfield has been everywhere today.
It looks like they've moved up Wilder to a midfield position for this game, which is not where she's played early on in the season, so it seems like the role definitely suits her.
Well, it's definitely working. It's definitely working right now. She's been everywhere on the attacking side, generating opportunities for this Bobcat squad.
By the way, she was our ESPN Ithaca Athlete of the Week earlier this week after a PK goal against Dryden that broke a scoreless tie in that one. And the goal kick from T-Berg is settled down by Lansing. It's Gustafson. Her shot gets deflected, sent out of bounds. And Gustafson will throw it in for Lansing. Just past midway through the offensive zone for Lansing, where it's picked up and tries to get Jones too far ahead of her, and T-Berg takes it back. Isabel Morse can't get it past Tanishilo. Tanishilo's clearance nearly picked up by Rosie Morse. Instead, Lansing gets it. Sent off the head of Brennan. And Ava Wilder cuts that off, sends a shot in. Jackson knocks it down. It's rolling towards the goal line. She picks it up before it trickles in. Ava Wilder from way out nearly scores the first goal of this game, but Abby Jackson makes the stop.
A little funny, too. The ball's about to trickle in, and Abby Jackson just stood right over it, stopped it right there.
Made it dramatic, yeah. I like that. And now T-Berg on the defensive side.
Saved by the Blue Raiders, number 20, Abigail Jackson.
It gets sent out of bounds. It'll be a T-Berg throw-in. Still trying to get out of their defensive half here. Long throw-in. Goes off a Lansing defender, then off of right for a Lansing throw-in at midfield.
One thing I want to point out, Dan, while we have a second. One thing I'm seeing a lot from this Lansing squad, and they're notorious for this,
Now
as
into the
opposed to
Bobcats,
trying to
number
go
15,
face
Angelina
forward
Gerch.
and just charge straight for the opposing goal, they actually turn around and they try to play their midfield a little bit more. They try to play their defensive side a little bit more because that's where they're the strongest. That's where they can generate the most offense.
And Izzy Gustafson charges upfield. Got past some defenders, but is cut off by Okuma. And T-Berg's able to clear. But again, not out of danger yet. Hannah Brennan now finds some space. Isabel Morse, left side. Reese Todai with a nice defensive play to lead that out of bounds, and it'll be a Lansing throw-in. Long throw-in down the right sideline. Over the head of Rosie Morse. Petrich trying to run it down, and it gets knocked out of bounds by Morse, so a Lansing throw-in coming up.
That was a good move by Petrich, coming up the line, sort of baiting the
Now in for the
defender,
Blue Raiders, number 10, Macy Covert.
and then just able to
And for
turn
the
and go when the
Bobcats,
ball
number
comes
20,
down to the
back
sideline.
into the game, Isa Vents.
Throw-in from Lansing as Issa Vents checks back in for Lansing, and Macy Covert coming in for the first time for Trumansburg. Here's Abby Jones. Turns and fires a shot from deep, and it'll roll past the end line.
Still scoreless here, 23 and a half minutes. Shots 4 and 4.
Lansing not afraid to shoot from deep in
No,
this
definitely
game.
not. Definitely not.
Almost worked on that Ava Wilder try. That was knocked down by Jackson and nearly trickled in. Ava Wilder cuts one off, gets it to Jones into the middle. And Gurich can't get a play on it. Jones gets it back, sends it to Petrich. Petrich chips one into the goal line, but it's caught by Jackson. Didn't get enough on that chip. A nice attempt by Petrich, though. Punted downfield by the T-Berg keeper. Instead sent right back into that Lansing offensive zone. Most of this game played in Lansing's offensive third, but T-Berg has been generating good chances on the other side when they get the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. They've been able to make the right side of the field work a little bit more, but this Lansing midfield, man, they keep the pressure on.
Yeah. Free kick coming up for Lansing. It's Ava Wilder on it. A good distance back from the net. Sends it into the box over the head of Petrich. And that will go towards the end line, but not out, so Okuma has to play it in the corner. Petrich on the sideline, then turns and fires a cross in. Gets to Gurich, who can't get a shot on net. Instead it goes wide, and it will be a goal kick for T-Berg.
Yeah, so the ball was sort of stuck in the corner over there. Two players were just kind of standing there looking at it, waiting for it to roll out. And then Lansing turned and fired a cross in.
A little rope-a-dope action there.
It works.
Goal kick gets cut off by Reese Todai of Lansing and sent into Jones. Jones knocks it down. Again, right side. Petrich tries to cross, goes off Morse, and out of bounds.
Blocked by Morse.
This game brought to you by Pritchard Automotive. He wrote the book on quality and value, located 2 blocks off the downtown Commons. 21 and a half to go in the first half. Scoreless in this one. Chances on both sides between Lansing and T-Berg. Throw-in goes. I didn't see the signal here yet.
Looked like it was off the Trumansburg knee. We haven't gotten a signal yet.
Are they just going to redo the throw-in?
I suppose so.
All right, Todai again on it for Lansing. Throws it into the box this time. Vence couldn't generate a shot, and it's cleared out by T-Berg. Bailey Trudell alone up there, so she has no options to pass to. But she gets around Kiara Tonisula. Trudell slows it down enough for Wright to catch up. Sends a pass over to her. And now Gracie Wright charging up the wing. Wright slows up. Sends a pass into the middle. Chipped into the air by the Lansing defense and settled down by Iris Borman, the keeper.
Could almost get going there, but Lansing defense able to get a foot on it.
The punt by Borman is headed by Morris, the T-Berg defender. And now she's trying to move upfield up the left side. Morris gets around Todai. And T-Berg now generating from the left side. Her pass ahead of Augustine. And it was cleared out, but Hannah Brennan keeps it in for T-Berg. Augustine has it knocked off of her, and Covert gives it away. And there's Ava Wilder coming up with another turnover for Lansing. The give and go. Wilder slows up, sends a pass into the middle. Doesn't get to Gierich. And instead, it's cleared by T-Berg. Todai cuts it off, and two T-Berg players collide into each other. And it's almost cleared by Morris, but Ava Wilder, just a brick wall in the midfield, cuts another clear off and sends it right back to Vence, who trips up. And a foul is called as Vence almost took Hannah Brennan with her when she was falling down.
Yeah, Dan, I think that you're right. I think that they moved Ava Wilder up to a midfielder because she's just been everywhere on this midfield attack. Been saying her name a lot tonight.
Yeah. Hannah Brennan sends a deep free kick downfield for T-Berg. Goes off of Ashley Bell, and Trudell takes over. There's a turnover. Trudell from deep bounces and goes out of bounds past the end line.
Now
It'll be a goal kick for Lansing.
I think if you're Trudell there, that's just too far for a shot. You're
Back
out the
in
PK
for the
area.
Raiders, number 18.
Pretty
Audrey
far.
Holcomb.
I think that you had
Mask
Gracie
timeout.
Wright on the right side. Maybe take your chances on that.
And this is new for you, Cam. This is our first mask break of the game. These players do need a break after going 20 minutes with their mask on. So there's 18:57 on the clock here in the first half. Still scoreless. We'll take a quick break. You are listening to Section 4 Girls Soccer here on ESPN Ithaca.
Excellence, the quality of being outstanding. ESPN Ithaca's long-running Fueling Excellence program recognizes high school athletes for their outstanding performances. Every Tuesday on Between the Lines, we spotlight local male and female athletes and put them through the infamous Fast Five. Students walk out with swag, and their school's booster club gets gifted $50 from Cayuga Health. ESPN Ithaca's Fueling Excellence, supporting our local athletes and their drive to excel. Presented by Cayuga Health. The right care is right here.
When you're looking for easy grocery shopping, come to Lansing Market, where there's more variety than you might imagine. You're greeted by an array of fresh fruit and vegetables as you enter. Mike, in the bakery department, has loads of goodies like his mouth-watering half-moon cookies. Meat lovers will enjoy choosing their favorite from the case or have your meat custom cut in the full-service butcher shop. And when it comes to groceries, Lansing Market features a wide selection, including local and specialty items you'll love. In a hurry, you'll find hot and cold favorites at the deli. Value and variety every day at Lansing Market.
Hi, I'm Kelly Wade, president of Cayuga Lake National Bank. We pride ourselves on being customer-focused and community-minded, and that will never change, even as our community gets bigger and our story gets longer. Be a part of our story. Visit us at CayugaLakeNationalBank.com to learn more.
Scoreless here between Lansing and T-Berg girls soccer. 18:57 to go in the first half. We're in the middle of a mask break. Dan Doherty here alongside Cam Denmark on ESPNIthaca.com and ESPN Ithaca app. This game brought to you by McPherson Builders, serving the Ithaca community with quality and pride, and a proud supporter of high school athletes. So we're at the midway point of the first half. A lot of this game being played in Lansing's offensive third. But again, T-Berg not out of the woods here. They're generating a lot of good chances when they get the opportunity.
Yeah, it's that second part of your sentence there. When they get the opportunity, this Lansing defense has been a brick wall, to put it lightly.
Yeah,
it's been amazing to see sort of the formation, especially with Ava Wilder. We've been saying her name quite a bit tonight, and because she's been so far up. It's almost like she's playing a midfield, like attacking role, but she's listed as a defender. But it just goes to show how great this Lansing defense has been.
Yeah, and the season opener we called with Lansing and Dryden, she was a defender in that game. So they have changed her position midway through this season, and it's working out so far in this game. The goal kick from Lansing gets picked up by T-Berg, and Gracie Wright now rushing up the right side of the field. She has some space. Turns, looking for a crossing option, sends it into the middle, or it's knocked down and cleared out by Lansing. Okuma keeps it in. Another chance for T-Berg here. Okuma can't keep the ball too long as Lansing now clears down to midfield. And now battling is Addison Wells, who just came in for Lansing. Now a rush generating for Lansing, but it's cut off. And T-Berg's able to send it out of bounds on the right side.
This T-Berg defense has to be pretty tired at this point.
Yeah.
Lights coming on here in Trumansburg. Beautiful night out here.
It was a very nice day today. Very sunny.
Izzy Gustafson and number 3, Sarah O'Callaghan.
Throw-in coming in for Lansing, 10 yards ahead of midfield. Far side of the field. It's Elise Jackson on it. Looks like she got caught for an illegal throw-in there.
That'll happen. Drives coach crazy, but it'll happen.
T-Berg's throw goes up the right side, and Trudell almost caught Ashley Bell sleeping, and she does take it away. Hands it off to Gracie Wright. Her pass in the middle. Reaches Augustine. Now Augustine has some space. From deep, Augustine. Line drive right into the chest of Iris Borman.
There's a nice chance by Augustine, the 8th grader. Maybe take a touch there. But a very nice opportunity.
She generated that herself. The Lansing defender had it. She knocked it off of her and then fired from way downtown.
Showed the speed, too.
Yeah.
This Trumansburg top line is quick.
They are. They are very quick. And as you mentioned, Hope Augustine, an 8th grader, she's in a pretty crucial position on that offensive side for Trumansburg.
It's a lot to ask of an 8th grader.
She has it again here. Couple feet out from the box. Gets cut off by Ashley Bell, and it's cleared by Lansing.
That was a good play by Bell right there, stopping the attack.
Wells has an option upfield, doesn't take it, turnover. Now Gracie Wright sends it down field, looking for Trudell just ahead of her, and Trudell's able to pick it up off a defender. So some extended offense here for Trumansburg late in the first half. 16 to go, scoreless between Lansing and T-Berg, and here's a deep throw-in right next to the corner flag. It goes to Wright. And another throw-in coming up, this time for Lansing.
Tell you what, Dan, whatever Coach Okuma told his offense, it's working right now.
Yeah.
They're able to generate a lot of
Opportunities.
opportunities.
Bobcats, number 14, Emma Heasley.
Not able to get one in the box just yet, but I think that that's just a matter of time.
It's the first time we've really seen sustained offense from Trumansburg this game. And now the ball chipped in, and it goes all the way to Borman, the keeper for Lansing. 15 and a half to go. Scoreless between Lansing and T-Berg. This game brought to you by Tompkins Trust Company, locally focused, a world of possibilities. Ball bouncing at midfield, taken up by Emma Heasley. Lansing rushing upfield. They have space. Enters the box. Heasley on the right side. A little bit of a panic shot there. Just sends it past the end line and nowhere near the net.
But I can't blame Heasley there. If you turn around, you had a Trumansburg defender right on you,
In for
and you
the Blue
couldn't
Raiders,
really
number
get a cross
25,
going.
Ayala Coffin.
So it's one of those instances where you kind of take a shot and just hope it's kind of on target on the right corner.
And taking the goal kick for T-Berg will be Audrey Holcomb, the team captain. It lands at Wright's feet. And she clears it upfield, gets it past midfield. Elise Jackson on it. Sends it back past midfield for Lansing this time. Ava Wilder picking it up. Wilder, challenged by Okuma. Sends a short pass over to her right. There's another one, but just ahead of the reach of her intended target. And T-Berg gives it right back to Lansing, though. Heasley with pressure. O'Callahan challenging Rosie Morse, who's trying to get out of the defensive zone for T-Berg. Morse gets around the Lansing offense and isn't able to get it past midfield. Second attempt off of Wilder, and O'Callahan's able to pick it up for Lansing. Heasley on the right side. Gets to the end line and, again, sends it out of bounds. It's a goal kick. Holcomb on it again for T-Berg.
Back in for the Bobcats, number 26, Morgan Suara. And for the Blue Raiders, number 21, Anna Parker.
13 and a half to go here in the first half. 0-0.
What are we looking at on shots, Cam?
We got 7 for Lansing, and we got 5 for the Berg.
Cleared downfield by T-Berg. And Ayala Coffin challenging, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be a Lansing throw-in. Reese Todai on it. Hops over her target, O'Callahan. And Anna Parker not able to wrestle away from her, and it's sent up the right side. Emma Heasley. She's on it, where Hannah Brennan kicks it out of bounds. And it'll be another Lansing throw-in in the offensive third.
Yeah, not much that Brennan can do there. Just got to clear it.
We've seen Lansing force a lot of those in this game. Todai with the throw-in, gets to Heasley. She was on the team last year as an 8th grader, but sends that one past the end line. This one actually will be a corner kick. It deflected.
Second corner kick for the Bobcats.
And we're winding down here in the first half. 12 minutes to go, still scoreless between Lansing and T-Berg. Last time Karina Petrich sent one in, but Petrich's not on the field right now, so it's Emma Heasley for Lansing. Heasley lines it up, raises her hand, and sends a low cross in. Skips past Okuma. Whoa, wait. That moved a lot and got through a lot of defenders, but eventually cleared out by T-Berg. And it's a throw-in coming up for Lansing.
Lansing's formation for that corner kick was very interesting. They had 4 stacked on the back post.
Back in for the Bobcats, number 2, Karina Petrich.
And they were able to generate some sort of opportunity because the ball was able to squeak through on the far post side. Just couldn't get a foot on it.
Yeah, that traveled a lot for a low cross on the corner. Ball chipped in, and it's picked up by Abby Jackson, the goalkeeper for T-Berg. Punted downfield near Coffin. Trudell picks it up for T-Berg, but it's sent back the other way by Lansing. Left side. Gustafson had it temporarily, but Okuma, she's had a strong game, and it goes out of bounds for a Lansing throw-in.
She's been able to move north-south, too.
Yeah.
Been able to cut off any opportunities on the defensive side, just like that one right there. That was strong.
Ball gets deflected, settles down for Gracie Wright, and now T-Berg in their offensive third, but not for long as Ashley Bell is able to clear it out, but it goes out of bounds for a T-Berg throw-in. Just ahead of midfield, 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Gracie Wright gets the throw-in, stops her dribble, now starts moving again, up the right sideline, generating space, crosses, skips past Trudell and gets to Wilder. And Hannah Brennan is able to get it, and a shoe comes off. Looks like that's Brennan's shoe. Still able to throw a pass off, and a lot of jostling between Ava Wilder, and that looked like
Audrey Holcomb.
Yeah, Audrey Holcomb on there. And it looked like a foul was called, so Lansing with a free kick in their defensive third.
Number 9, Nicole Montague.
Shoe is back on now, Dan.
Yeah, shout out to Brennan for playing through that after the shoe coming off. She almost got a pass completed over to Holcomb. The free kick gets knocked down by Okuma, and now it's T-Berg's ball again. Gracie Wright on the right side. 9 minutes to go here in the first half, still scoreless. Here's a chance for Lansing, and the pass goes behind Emma Heasley, and it's sent back the other way. Tunishilo keeps it in with a high clearance. Settles down for Vence, left side, off the shoulder of Gustafson. Izzy Gustafson on the left side of the box. Gets it knocked away from her by Morse, and Wright is there to pick it up. Sent out of bounds, Lansing throwing coming up, 15 yards ahead of midfield.
Now into the game for the Bobcats, number 9, Nicole Montague. And for the Blue Raiders, number 9, Isabel Morse.
This game brought to you by Cayuga Health, the right care right here. Approaching 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Still scoreless.
Been a competitive, scoreless game so far. Here's Trudell in the middle. And her pass doesn't reach Gracie Wright and sent back the other way by Ashley Bell. Ball's at midfield here where Trudell picks it up for T-Berg. And now chips it downfield. Nice chip set up for Wright here. Wright with space. Bell challenging. Crosses into the middle. Left foot shot. Diving, and it goes off the post. Borman nearly got the save. Instead, her best friend, the post, makes the save for her.
That is a goalie's best friend right there, is the post.
Gracie Wright with a great opportunity. Set that up herself with a nice cut into the middle, and then displaying the left foot shot there. Goal kick coming up for Borman. And it goes right to Gracie Wright. Trudell passes over to Wright. Here's another chance for T-Berg. Again, cutting to the middle is Wright. Her shot blocked. Not cleared out yet, though, as it goes right to Brennan. And she passes to the left side for Isabel Morse. Morse into the middle, knocked down, and finally cleared out. That's Tornishilo, who's able to get it out of danger for Lansing.
That was a nice cross by Isabel Morse, though.
Ball sent right back in by T-Berg. Here's Trudell, has Wright ahead of her, and gets it over to her. Wright, again, with a lot of room. Gently gets into the box, sends a nice pass over, and whiffing on the shot was Audrey Holcomb. And it settles down for Wilder, and it's Lansing's ball.
Had open space there. Take a step, take a touch, take a step, and then take your shot.
Here's O'Callahan for Lansing. Now in the offensive third after a nice sustained possession for T-Berg. Tries to get past Okuma. Nice little touch there by Okuma, sends it out of bounds. And the Lansing throwing coming up.
Okuma's been everywhere this game. For just a freshman, too.
Yeah, very talented on defense.
This is an impressive outing for Okuma. Another one there.
We've said in games past, if you're saying the defender's name a lot, you know they're having a great game.
It's true.
In this case, that's Lucia Okuma. Throw in. Gets to T-Berg. They're not able to clear, though, as Emma Heasley tries to send a cross in, goes off a defender, settles down for O'Callahan, into the middle. Gustafson pops it up. Pass to her left. There's Petrich with a shot. It's blocked. And now it's picked up by Abby Jackson, the keeper for T-Berg.
Had that block not been there, that Petrich shot probably would have had a good chance of going in. It was on a good trajectory.
Yeah, not a lot of deep shots for Lansing this game. They're not afraid to take their chances. 5 to go here in the first half. Scoreless between these two teams, T-Berg and Lansing.
Shot 7 to
Back
6.
in the game for the Blue Raiders, number 1, Hope
In favor of the
Augustine.
Bobcats.
This game brought to you by
Number
Cayuga Health, the right
16,
care right here.
Blythe Vaness.
Some subs coming in for T-Berg.
A lot of tired faces out there. This has been an endurance game.
Yeah. Especially on T-Berg's side. It's a lot harder to defend than it is to attack. Okuma gets it away from Gustafson. And it's sent back upfield by Faith Flood. Little collision there. Settles down for Wright, who gets it to midfield where Bell cuts it off. And then it cleared by Okuma. Trudell rushing for it. Bell gets there first, sends it out of bounds, and a T-Berg throw-in coming up. Settled down by our photographer, John Brem. He's over there. These photos from this game will be on photos.espnithica.com tomorrow.
Bailey Trudell has been everywhere for this Trumansburg attack. She is speedy.
And we called T-Berg's first-round sectionals game last year against Oxford, and she scored a hat trick in that game.
IAC second-team All-Star.
3:30 to go in the first half. Deep throw-in for T-Berg coming up. Header by right. Long shot, and it goes right to Borman. And Borman, her punt skips over the Trumansburg defense, and here's O'Callahan rushing forward for Lansing, gets into the box. One man to beat, and it's a nice save by Abby Jackson, a leaping stop. And that was on net.
Nice
That could have been our
save,
first
but
goal of the
Blue Raiders
game.
goalie
O'Callahan
number
trying to go
20,
high with it.
Abigail Jackson.
And Abby Jackson used both her hands to stop that one from going in.
Had Jackson not been there, that would have definitely squeaked right past the post on that right side and found its way to the back of the net. Great stop there by the senior.
Ava Wilder with a foul there on midfield. She had both her hands around the T-Berg player. Lansing fans didn't like it, but that is a pretty clear foul.
Yeah, you can't do that in soccer. Apparently you can't use your hands in soccer.
No, not legal, as Hannah Brennan sends it downfield. And it's cleared out for T-Berg throw-in.
2-minute offense here.
Blythe Van Ness hands it off. It's Anna Parker with the throw-in. Knocked down by Todai. Like you mentioned, 2 minutes left in this first half. Still looking for our first goal here. Trudell from way downtown chips it in.
I believe that was Isabel Morse.
Yeah, my apologies. That was Morris on the shot.
We'll forgive you, Dave.
And clearance from the keeper goes to Gracie Wright. More pressure from T-Berg. Ashley Bell squashing that opportunity and sends it to the sideline where Petrich is able to keep it in. Just over 90 seconds left. Here's a chance for Lansing as Gustafson, her pass, trying to cross fields to Callahan, didn't get there. And T-Berg again. Here's Morse, rather Trudell. Tries to send it to the right side, can't get to right. And now there's Morse, who sends it all the way into the box where it gets to Borman. Borman picks it up for Lansing, and the keeper punts it downfield. 1 minute to go in the first half. This game brought to you by Guthrie Clinic, helping get off the bench and back in the game. Ava Wilder with it for Lansing. Wilder has O'Callahan ahead. She finds her on the right sideline. And instead, Hannah Brennan cuts her off, knocks it out of bounds for a Lansing throw in. 44 seconds left. Not a lot of time to work with for Lansing. O'Callahan sends it in, but it's cleared out. She had Nicole Montague. And now T-Berg trying to counter with little time left. Ashley Bell to Wilder. Morse able to get it for T-Berg. It gets to Augustine. 14 seconds left. Gracie Wright tries to get to Augustine, doesn't get there. And now Rosie Morse comes upfield. Here's a rush with 4 seconds left. Morse, one last chance here, slows up. Deep kick, knockdown. And that's how our first half ends. Rosie Morse knew she had a little time left. Didn't get the shot she wanted. Well, we go to halftime with the score knotted up at 0. So when we come back, we'll have the halftime report. You're listening to Section 4 Girls Soccer here on ESPNithica.com and the ESPN. Scoreless here between Lansing and T-Berg after 40 minutes of play. A lot of action in this one. Dan Doherty alongside Cam Denmark here on ESPNithica.com and the ESPN Ithaca app. Been a fun one. Nothing's found the back of the net yet, but we don't need that for having fun on the soccer pitch here. And There's been a lot of good stuff to watch on both sides, but first, the story of this first half was really Lansing's possession. A lot of the play in the first half being done on Lansing's offensive third. How are they able to get that done?
Well, especially in the first half of the first half, Lansing was able to pretty much push their entire defense completely on Trumansburg's side of the field. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie, Dan, I don't think I've ever seen that before. The amount of it's just a massive brick wall out there.
Yeah.
And if you're Trumansburg, you can't break through because you're constantly on the defensive end. So I think with Lansing, you got to keep doing that. You got to keep just putting people up there, keep doing what you're doing, put as many people as you want into the midfield, and just keep that attack up. I think Ava Wilder is a name that we've been saying a lot tonight. I think that she's just one good touch away from either getting a good, solid opportunity for a score or getting a score herself. Mm-hmm. She's been on fire on the offensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side, T-Berg started to have a lot more success in the latter half of the first half, making sustained offensive pressure and able to generate a lot of good chances. So what did they change midway through that first half that was able to work later on?
Dare I say, I think Coach Okuma might have taken Isabel Morse and put her either at an attacking midfield position or put her just up on the forward end.
Yeah.
She is so quick out there.
Yeah.
You got two Ferraris up at the top. You got Bailey Trudell, and now you've got Isabel Morse, who are able to just cruise right past this Lansing defense when Lansing's dropping back. Mm-hmm. That's a recipe for disaster if you're the Bobcats. So I think if you're Coach Okuma, I think you got to keep this attack going. Keep the formation that you have because clearly it's working. What you had in the first half of the first half, it was a little bit too defensive. And if you're this Lansing Bobcats team, you're just going to eat that up.
Yeah, absolutely. And this halftime report, by the way, brought to you by William George Agency. Make a difference in a young person's life while thriving in a new career at William George Agency for Children's Services. A couple of good chances we should make note of during that first half. Sarah O'Callahan might have had the best opportunity to score. She got inside the box and tried to chip one over Abby Jackson, but Jackson with a nice leaping stop to keep the game scoreless.
Yeah, cat-like reflexes out there for Jackson. That was that senior presence out there, the awareness to know where your post is, especially when you're a goalkeeper. Mm-hmm. It can be very intimidating if you're a younger goalkeeper. You don't really know where your post is. Yeah. Having that presence, knowing where you are in the box is so incredibly important if you're a goaltender. So Abby Jackson, if she wasn't back there, I think that shot probably would have had a good chance of going in.
Oh, I'd say so. And on the other side, you spoke about knowing where your post is. And Iris Borman, the goalkeeper for Lansing, was fortunate that the post was where it was, as that was what stopped Gracie Wright from scoring the first goal in this game.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a striker and if you're a field goal kicker, you typically don't like when the ball hits the post. No. But if you're a goaltender, the goal post is your best friend. So this has been a great defensive battle as much as it's been a great offensive battle, if that makes sense. This game has been going back, forth, north, south, constantly crossing the other sides of the fields. This is a great game that we have out here in Trumansburg. And
when we come back, that game will continue for the second half. You are listening to Section 4 Girls Soccer here on ESPNIthaca.com and the ESPN Ithaca app. Lansing kicking off here to start the second half of play. Scoreless between Lansing and Trumansburg Girls Soccer. And that's how this was when they first played each other. It was scoreless until the second overtime period when Lansing was able to get 2 goals into the back of the net. Dan Doherty here alongside Cam Denmark on ESPNIthaca.com and the ESPN Ithaca app. Fun first half of play between these two teams as the ball heads out of bounds. There's the Trumansburg throw-in where Okuma picks it up, and now Lansing's able to generate an offense possession, but not before it's taken away. Okuma again sends it up the left side. Isabel Morris settling it down and goes back to her defense, but now gets past them, and Emma Heasley now rushing forward for Lansing. She's on the right side, cuts inside, and her cross behind her intended target. I believe that was Lauren Ivanek that she was looking for. But now Gracie Wright picks it up, playing a little further back than we're used to seeing her, and she gets tripped up from behind by Ivanek, and it will be a free kick for T-Berg.
Nice job on T-Berg to be able to drop back, pick up that Lansing attack. I believe it was a 4v2 in favor of Trumansburg, and you're not often going to win those if you're on the attacking side.
And taking the free kick will be Holcomb, senior captain for T-Berg. Skips over Hannah Brennan, settled down by Wilder. Her clearance knocked down by Trudell, and finally cleared out by Lansing. The ball is available, and Emma Heasley's picking it up for Lansing here. And eventually it's kicked out of bounds by Faith Flood. It'll be a Lansing throw-in on the left side of the field. Ivanek on it. Ivanek tries to find Heasley. She does. Heasley kicks it back out to Vence. Vence chips it in, and it bounces to Jackson once. And the T-Berg keeper has it, and will punt it downfield.
Yeah, that was a nice find there. Just not able to get a shot on it, hard shot on it.
And Okuma picks it up for T-Berg as Lansing tried to push through. Left side. Isabel Morse loses the ball, and now Petrich is in the corner for Lansing. She crosses it, and it's caught by Abby Jackson before Emma Heasley rushed in for the attempt. And Jackson's able to punt it downfield. Hope Augustine couldn't reach it, and it goes right back to Lansing. Abby Jones turns, passes to her right, just past Heasley, but cleared right to Vence. Lansing still has it. They go back to Jones. Jones sends one off of Okuma, and it bounces out towards Petrich. She's in the corner again, cuts back. Tries to send a low pass in, and Okuma is able to get there in time to clear it out. It's knocked out of bounds, and there's a Lansing throw-in.
Petrich generating a lot of options here for the Lansing offense. Able to get some quality crosses in.
Yeah, she likes that corner play. And a free kick coming up for Trumansburg. 36 to go in the second half, still scoreless. A couple of good chances on both sides. Here's Hope Augustine for T-Berg. Gives it away. Reese Todai had it temporarily before Rosie Morse cuts it off and now charges forward. Her touch a little too strong and sent the other way by Lansing. Abby Jones gets there at midfield and now sends it upfield for Lansing. T-Berg gets it right back. Hannah Brennan challenged by Ava Wilder. And T-Berg wins the battle. Sends it upfield. Trudell has right. Right, moving up the wing. Now back towards the middle. Now cuts back outside. And Morgan Sawara with some good defense, but Wright still on it. Into the corner goes, and looking for a signal. It'll be a Lansing throw-in.
Morgan Sawara was huge on that play, able to cut off the attack from Wright.
We've seen these Lansing defenders struggle with Gracie Wright's speed, but Sawara was up for the challenge in that one. And now T-Berg still has in the offensive zone before it's cleared out by Vence. Vence able to settle it down. And now Wilder gets it in the middle. Here's Jones. Chipped upfield, headed by Heasley. Rosie Morse tried to rush ahead, couldn't get the ball. And Wilder now starting the offensive rush for Lansing. Goes up the left side, cuts back. Wilder from way too deep. And that will just get picked up by Abby Jackson. And Jackson punts it downfield. 34 to go in the second half. Still scoreless between Lansing and T-Berg. Here's Hope Augustine. Gets locked up with Ashley Bell, and then they break out with Gracie Wright on the right wing. Wright sends a pass into the middle. Augustine chips it over to Trudell. Can't get into the box. Still trying to keep it in there. Augustine challenging. It goes to Brennan. Brennan fires a shot. And a diving stop for Borman. Rebound is there. Morse saved by Borman.
Borman coming up huge. That right-handed diving save. And then Trumansburg not able to gather up the rebound. Huge play by the junior.
33 and a half to go in the second half. Great chance by T-Berg there. Couldn't get it in the back of the net, though, and here's a Lansing counter. Emma Heasley gets tripped up by Okuma, and it was a clean play. Great defensive work from Lucia Okuma for T-Berg, and causes a turnover, gets it to Trudell. Trudell at midfield. Another chance for the speedy forwards of Trumansburg. Trudell has to cut back, where Todai is able to take it away from her, and Trudell knocks it out of bounds for a Lansing throw-in.
This Lansing defense able to keep the game scoreless with just under
In for the
33 minutes to
Bobcats,
go.
number 22, Elise Jackson, and number 21, Izzy Gustafson. Yeah, Gustafson. Why am I struggling with that name? That's not hard. Number 9, Nicole Montague.
32 and a half to go. As you heard, Izzy Gustafson back in the game.
Thank you.
Open the window up there.
Nice. Told you, I like it.
Out of bounds it goes for a Lansing throw-in. 32 to go in the second half. Abby Jones with it. Sends a pass up, wanting Petrich. But Rosie Morse gets there first and turns upfield. T-Berg with the ball now. Petrich knocks it out of bounds.
In for the Bobcats, number 1, Addison Wells. And for the Blue Raiders, number 22, Julia Wright.
Subs coming on both sides. Lansing throwing coming up just about 10 yards ahead of midfield. This game brought to you by Cargill Keegan Mine, providing de-icing solutions that save lives, enhance commerce, and reduce environmental impact. Throw-in gets past the intended target. And Ava Wilder keeps in the zone temporarily. Cleared by Okuma off the head of Elise Jackson, who just came in. And Gracie Wright has it. Gracie Wright gets past Jackson, and Wright has some room. Wright cuts back to the middle, and it's chipped high in the air by Trudell. And that's in. Wow. About as high of a shot you could have, and somehow that snuck past Borman. That's in the back of the net.
Number 2,
Bailey Trudell.
Assist.
I can't believe that. That was really
number
high.
4, Gracie Wright.
Well, I tell you what, Dan, if you're Borman, you can't really do much about that. That went way high up in the air. It kind of looked like it was going to be cleared for a field goal.
Yeah.
And instead it just plummeted back down to earth. And Trudell able to get on the board first for T-Berg. Let's see how Lansing responds here.
So that's now 1-0 T-Berg with 31 to go in the second half. And now
Clock has been
Lansing,
started.
Lansing with it. Izzy Gustafson sends it into the middle. Lorna Vanek with the left foot shot that gets knocked away by Julia Wright at the last second to kind of slow it down for Abby Jackson, who picks it up and clears it downfield. Elise Jackson has it taken away by Gracie Wright. And the chance was, or rather the goal was generated by Gracie Wright charging upfield, sending across into the middle, and Bailey Trudell sends a really high arcing shot that somehow found the right little angle to get past Iris Borman and makes it 1-0 T-Berg in the second half here.
Came back down onto the field like a comet.
Yeah.
And then just found its way into the back of the net. Now, if you're Lansing, you can't get discouraged.
Yeah.
You've been having constant attacks on this T-Berg defense the entire game. And if you're T-Berg, we'll keep attacking. It's working.
Absolutely. Here's a free kick coming up as Hannah Brennan of T-Berg was taken down by Ava Wilder. Okuma Tries to send it to the box. Skipped ahead by Hannah Brennan. Nice backwards header. But Borman is able to pick it up before any challenges from T-Berg. Her punt goes right to Izzy Gustafson. But her pass gets sent out of bounds by Rosie Morse. It'll be a Lansing throw-in. 29 to go here in the second half. Throw-in too far. But they'll get another chance as Isabel Morse knocks it out of bounds.
T-Berg here sending everybody but 2 players back on the defensive end. Trying to stack the house.
And another throw-in coming up for Lansing as T-Berg kind of trapped on the sideline here. Todai gets to Wilder. Wilder with a nice little dribble move gets around the defender and now heads to the corner. Wilder with a cross. Skips around a bit. Ashley Bell stepping up. And it's taken away by Wright. Now T-Berg charging upfield. Wright sends a through ball looking for Trudell. Trudell has it. Moves to her left. One more pass. Hannah Brennan, top of the box. Right foot, doesn't get a shot off. Instead, gives it to Wright. Wright sends a crossing pass in that doesn't get anywhere, and it'll be a goal kick for Lansing.
Yeah, Hannah Brennan passing the ball off instead of getting a shot
On
off.
for the Blue Raiders, number 15, Abigail Mulford.
Trying to share the love there, but sometimes you got to be a little bit selfish. Have a goal kick here.
27:40 to go in the second half. T-Berg with a 1-0 lead after Bailey Trudell's high arcing goal in the second half. And the goal kick gets kept in the zone by T-Berg. Gracie Wright getting challenged by Elise Jackson. Wright still working. Right side of the box. Sent a shot in, and it is bobbled for a little bit and then picked up by Iris Borman.
I got 14 shots for T-Berg compared to 10 for Lansing.
The second half has looked a lot different than the first half as far as possession goes. And a good amount of T-Berg possession in the second half.
5 shots alone in the second half for the Blue Raiders compared to 2 for the Bobcats.
Those mid-game adjustments from Coach Okuma really paying off. This game brought to you by IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 241, where your friends and neighbors,
In for the
and we are
Bobcats,
proud to
number
support
20, Issa
local
Vance.
high school sports.
It's pretty interesting here. The Blue
Number
Raiders are
2,
playing a little bit more
Karina
conservative. Now they only have 1 striker up top. Everybody else is back on the defensive end. And I'm wondering if Coach Okuma is going to play this strategy maybe for the rest of the half.
Going to protection mode. Again, it's 1-0 with 26 to go in the second half. And Lansing trying to take it away from T-Berg in their offensive territory, and they force a throw-in. So Lansing with the chance here to generate some offense. Throw-in goes to Wilder. Wilder using her strength to push through. Cuts to the left. Doesn't reach Issa Vence with it. And T-Berg gets a clear. Chiara Toniscilo sends it right back in. Pass to the left. Vence tries to do a give and go, but no one was on the other side of it. And goes right back to midfield. Reese Todai for Lansing. Gets it over to Toniscilo, who moves it upfield.
Go, Addison.
And Addison Wells not able to generate the rush that she wanted, and it goes out of bounds.
In for the Bobcats, number 14, Emma Heasley.
Dan, what I'm noticing on the Lansing defensive end, they're not playing as far up as they were the first half of the first half. They got 2 back around midfield, whereas before they were all the way up there.
And is that a response to maybe T-Berg's offensive pressure in the second half? As Ava Wilder from deep, beautiful field goal, but that does not count in soccer.
It should. That'd be cool.
Yeah. 24 and a half to go in the second half. 0-0. And as I was saying, do you think, or rather 1-0 T-Burg, my apologies. Do you think the placement of Lansing's defense is a response to T-Burg's offensive success in the second half?
I think it is, because you've got 2 attackers up at the top, 3 attackers up at the top for Trumansburg, who are incredibly quick. And if you're Lansing, you don't want to fatigue your defenders. We've got an attack here.
Goal kick went right to Emma Heasley, and another Lansing throw-in coming up as her shot knocked off a T-Burg defender.
Just to quickly finish up the thought, if you're Lansing and you're on the defensive end, you don't want to tire out your defenders. So that could be a strategy that we're seeing right now.
Off the throw-in, it gets chipped up to Heasley. Heasley moving backwards, sends a pass in the middle. It's Gustafson. Gustafson tries a fancy dribble move. Instead, Hannah Brennan gets it and clears it for T-Burg. Chipped up field. Tornishilo able to get it to Wilder. Wilder left side. Now it's Heasley with it. Okuma with another forced turnover. And Augustine picks it up. Sends Okuma upfield. Here's a 2-on-1. Defense falling back for Lansing. Okuma with it. She pulls up. Sends it over to the right side for Wright. Wright, dribble move, gets past Jackson. Into the box now. High cross. And Morse with a shot. That gets saved by Borman.
Okuma had an excellent find there to find Wright on the right side. And then Wright able to get the cross in, but just not able to get the back of the net.
That was a nice high cross, and then Isabel Morse came charging with a head of steam to drive one into the net, but it was stopped by Borman. Throwing coming up behind midfield for Lansing. Some subs coming in. It's Bailey Trudell in for Hope Augustine on T-Burg side. Karina Petrich in for Addison Wells. For Lansing,
number 2,
22 and a half to go. It's 1-0 T-Burg ahead of Lansing. Ashley Bell with a long throwing down the left sideline. Picked up by Julia Wright. Forced out of bounds. Another Lansing throw-in. Bell sends it high over the head of Heasley. And Julia Wright picks it up and clears it for T-Burg. Kept in bounds by Hannah Brennan. And up the right side comes Bailey Trudell, fresh off the bench, but Ashley Bell able to get there first. And then Gracie Wright sends her ahead. Ball goes into the corner. Here's Bailey Trudell running for it. Kiara Tornishilo there too. And Tornishilo gets there first, knocks it out of bounds. And it will be a corner kick for T-Burg.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play right there, but getting the ball, it was almost like a 100-yard dash to see who could get there first.
Number 2, Bailey Trudell on the corner kick for the Blue Raiders.
I believe this is T-Burg's first corner of the evening.
It absolutely is. And here's Bailey Trudell on it with 21 to go in the second half. They already have a 1-0 lead, looking to extend it. Trudell lines it up. Sends a line drive in. Never got in bounds. It went up the side of the net. It'll be a goal kick for Lansing. This game brought to you by Phoenix Auto. Looking for experienced repair technicians at reasonable prices? Look to Phoenix Auto at the Crossroads in Lansing. Fix it at Phoenix.
I want to point this out.
Oh, the goal kick gets picked up by Trudell. Sends a high shot off the crossbar. Rebound available and knocked into the back of the net. Abigail Mulford with the rebound goal. With 20 and a half to go, makes it 2-0 T-Burg. That came off a muffed goal kick for Iris Borman.
Right place, right time right there from Mulford. The junior able to sneak one in the back of the net. Trudell able to disrupt the goal kick a little bit, catch this Lansing defense sleeping a little bit. And then Mulford right there, right place, right time.
For the Blue Raiders, number 18, Audrey Holcomb, and number 3, Ellie Mount.
Now down 2-0. Lansing's work cut out for them.
Mulford coming back to the bench, getting hugs from her teammates.
Great work by T-Burg to generate a lot more pressure in the second half than they saw in the first half. And it leads to a 2-0 lead. Ava Wilder with it for Lansing. Sends a kick up field. Gets past Okama and sent back the other way by T-Berg. Issa Vence leaves it off for Wilder. Back to Vence. Vence moves to her left. Sends a pass up field. Couldn't get to Avanek, but it pops out. Vence has it. Right foot into the box. And one more pass to Gustafson. Left foot. And Jackson's able to make the stop and keep Lansing off the board. Again, 2-0 T-Berg with 20 minutes to go here in the second half.
Yeah, Gustafson had a nice look at it. But Jackson, again, that senior presence, just knowing where to be when that shot came in. I tell you what, though, as we head to the mask break here, the most dangerous time for a team's defense is right after they score. Mm-hmm. And this mask break is coming at a good time. We'll see what adjustments this Bobcat squad makes as we come out of the break.
Yeah, this game brought to you by T-Berg SureSave. More expansive, less expensive. Order online for pickup or delivery at tbergsuresave.com. So both goals for T-Berg. The first one was generated by Gracie Wright charging up field and sending across. Knocked it high in the air, and it snuck in over the hands of Iris Borman. Second goal was off a goal kick that unfortunately Borman sent right to Bailey Trudell. And Trudell, her shot was stopped by Borman, but it popped out. Abigail Mulford came charging in and knocked it home to make it 2-0. So what can you break down those goals for me, Cam? What led to those scoring chances?
Yeah, I think it was just the Lansing defense falling asleep a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They were a little bit tired, especially on that second goal with the goal kick. Bailey Trudell just having the awareness to be able to cut the ball off and able to get a shot off, hit the crossbar. And then Mulford just able to be there, right place, right time. But I really doubt that this Lansing defense, by the way, well-deserved rest for both of these teams.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt that they're going to keep the same game plan moving forward. I'd like to see them try to push up more.
Yeah.
I understand that that's a little bit more risky because this Trumansburg offense is so quick, but I think you really need to do it. You need to generate more of an attack here if you're Lansing and get some goals on the board with 20 minutes to go.
And if you look at what happened in the first half, that was what was leading to all that offensive pressure. Sure, you give up a counterattack here and there, but a lot of time was spent in that offensive zone for Lansing. And then now that Trumansburg has shown their speed, Lansing's gotten away from the strategy that gave them a lot of success in that first half. And we'll be coming out of the mask break fairly soon. So what's the most important thing here coming out of the break for either team?
I think if you're Lansing, you got to attack and attack quickly, especially right after this break. As soon as we get out of this break, you got to attack immediately. Get the pressure on the T-Berg defense because they're going to have a pretty decent rest right now. So are you. Stack as many people as you need to up on that offensive end. And if you keep one defender at the back, that's fine. But keep doing what you're doing in the first half because it worked. And if you're Trumansburg, rely on that speed that you've got up top. Just keep sending balls up top. Maybe stack the house if you really want to. And by stack the house, I mean towards the goalie, stack the defense a little bit more, put one defender back. But rely on that speed as much as you can. Just send through balls up, and you'll waste time that way.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get out of here with a win on home field.
20 minutes, not a lot of time to score 2 goals, especially in a game like this. It's been pretty much a defensive battle.
Don't say that, Dan. Don't say that. We're going to see it.
Hey,
we might see it right here.
The first time these two teams played, it was 2 goals in a hurry for Lansing in the second overtime period, so they can score quickly against this T-Berg team. High throwing from Ashley Bell for Lansing. Emma Heasley tried to get past Okama. She does. And a foul is called on Heasley. So it's going to be T-Berg with a free kick down in their defensive end.
I believe the call was an elbow.
Yeah.
I guess. Interesting. That's all I'll say. Interesting.
And the free kick goes down the sideline for T-Berg. Picked up by Vence. Lansing has it temporarily. It gets to Vence again. She tries to find Avanek upfield. Instead, it's chipped towards the sideline, gets through Gracie Wright, and it'll be a Lansing throw-in. Ashley Bell moving upfield.
And this Lansing defense starting to creep up.
Throw-in goes to Heasley. Ivanek sends it high, cross in, off the head of Gustafson and skips away to the opposite side of the box. And it's cleared out. Another Lansing throw-in coming up.
Perhaps they heard me, Dan.
Yeah, they're all up. It's just Chiara Teniscio is at midfield, and that's it. That's the only defense that Lansing has right now. Throw-in goes in. They send it into the middle for Ashley Bell. Chipped in. Vence sends a turning kick. It gets softly picked up by Vence again. Tries to go back to Bell. Cleared out temporarily. And Elise Jackson on it for Lansing. Fights through a T-Berg attack. Her cross doesn't get there, but it doesn't matter as a foul was called on T-Berg.
I believe the foul was called on O'Callahan. I did not see what the foul was, though. T-Berg sending 2 up on the wall.
It'll be Ava Wilder on the free kick. And they're going to make sure they're 10 yards away, socially distancing this free kick.
That was a really good joke, Dan. I'm dying on the inside. Anyways, 3 up on the wall now. Number 2, 3, 4 in numerical order. How about that?
We love it. Ava Wilder from deep on the left side. Sends a cross in. It's there, and the shot doesn't go. They missed the net, and it's cleared out by T-Berg for another Lansing throw-in. Not sure who missed that shot, but it was simply crossed back away from the box. And another Lansing throw-in came in, and a lot of contact. Lansing player went down, no call. And we're going the other way. Ternishula picks it up. And there was a player down for Lansing inside the 18. I believe that's Isa Vence. And they stopped time with 16:56 to go in the second half. 2-0 T-Berg the score. Lansing trying to generate some offense here. They've changed their defensive strategy. Just Chiara Teniscio playing essentially sweeper at midfield. Everyone else up. So it's a lot of responsibility on Teniscio.
Yeah, and they're getting offensive attacks out of it within, 4 minutes of coming out of the break. So I think if you're Lansing, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. That their best attack that we've seen in the past 4 minutes was that free kick that came into the box. And I think that it was a bit of a miscue on the T-Berg defensive end, and the ball went right in front of net with no goalie right there because Jackson was on the other side. And no T-Berg or no Lansing attack able to get there, but I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the Lansing attack so far.
So Lansing player, okay. Both teams essentially use this as a timeout.
Much needed.
Yeah, Lansing defense got together, marked up their strategies, and the entire T-Berg team huddled up to see how they're going to stop this Lansing offense.
Pretty interesting. The Lansing defense huddled up, and then the Lansing offense huddled up. So, wonder what they're going to plan here.
We'll see what the ruling is here. There was an injury for Lansing, so
Number
we'll see who gets the
9,
free
Nicole
kick.
Montague back on the field for the Bobcats.
This should be one of those instances where T-Berg will get the free kick, but they'll boot it right back to the Lansing defense.
It's Hannah Brennan on it for T-Berg. And it was Isa Vence who was the injured player for Lansing. And they go right back all the way down to Borman, the Lansing keeper. 16:50 on the clock. In the second half, Lansing trying for a comeback. They're down 2-0. It goes to Ava Wilder. Tries to kick it upfield. T-Berg stops that, sends it up the other way. It's Trudell trying to get past Ternishilo. And Ternishilo wins that battle. Going towards the end line now. Still not out of the woods yet. Goes off Trudell and off the end line. And it'll be a goal kick for Lansing.
Win this ball here, Boo. Keep it here.
Yeah, Trudell just not able to get past the defender. Goal kick coming for Lansing with 16 minutes left.
This game brought to you by Cuba Lake National Bank. They are customer-focused and community-minded. Borman sends it high right to Ashley Bell. Her hard pass to Wilder is completed. And T-Berg's able to take it away and get some more offensive zone time. Trudell trying to get a loose ball. Instead, it's picked up by Jackson. And Lansing go the other way. Ava Wilder sends one upfield for a rush. Izzy Gustafson. Gustafson sends it to the corner. It's Karina Petrich. Petrich crosses. High cross. Over the head of Heasley. Still in the box. Not out of danger yet. And T-Berg's able to clear. Get it to Hannah Brennan with just over 15 to go in the second half.
Yeah, Lansing just couldn't get ahead on that as T-Berg comes with a counter.
T-Berg has numbers here. Here's Trudell trying to get around Tunishilo. She does. And now she enters the box. Right side. Cross. No one on the other side of it. It goes right to Borman.
Yeah, it looked like she was a little bit torn if she wanted to cross that or if she wanted to maybe take a long shot. There's a bit of a hybrid of both.
And the punt goes to Petrich, who's trying to push it upfield for Lansing. Instead, we're going the other way with it. Isabel Morris gets it knocked out of bounds by Reese Todai, and it'll be a T-Berg throw-in 10 yards ahead of midfield. Again, T-Berg coming into this game 1-3. Lansing 3-2 with a win over T-Berg earlier this season. Here's T-Berg with a chance. Hannah Brennan cuts to the right. She has space. Sends a right foot shot, diving, and maybe getting a hand on it was Borman. It goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think that she did get a hand on that. That was a very nice shot by Brennan, but
Back in for the
what a
Bobcats,
stop by
number 11,
Borman.
Abby Jones, and for the Blue Raiders, number 1, Hope Augustine.
14 to go in the second half. Lansing looking for a miracle. And it's sent right back in by Hannah Brennan off the goal kick. Borman will pick it up and punt it downfield.
I do not believe that that was a shot.
The punt goes to Okama. Ava Wilder, right place, right time. Had it for Lansing temporarily. Some contact at midfield and cleared by Lansing. T-Berg not able to get it out of danger, and here's Ashley Bell sending to the left side. Lauren Avanek, team captain, knocked down by Gracie Wright, and a free kick coming up in a nice spot here. It's basically a shorter corner.
That's a great description of it. Right outside penalty box on the left side here. Lansing needs one. They need one bad. Let's see what setup they go with. They got 4 on the far post, now creeping in just a little bit.
Ava Wilder sends it in. Knocked around the T-Berg defense. Doesn't pop out generously enough for Lansing. And it's cleared by T-Berg. Running back for it is Elise Jackson. She's pressured by Wright. Jackson turns around and just sends it out of bounds. The throw-in gets cut off by Jackson, but it goes right to Hannah Brennan. T-Berg rushing ahead. Sends a through ball up ahead, wanting Morse. Reese Todai is there to stop the rush. Ball still in the defensive zone for Lansing as Tornishilo sends it off a T-Berg player. Goes out of bounds, throw-in coming up. 12 minutes to go in the second half. Lansing needs 2. They've been held off the scoreboard thus far.
Under the lights here in T-Berg.
Great setting for some soccer.
I always thought that those trees in the back there look pretty spooky at night. Anyways, back to the game.
This game brought to you by Seidel Insurance, insuring our community for nearly 50 years. Hope Augustine with it for T-Berg. Knocked off the ball by Tornishilo. Again, Tornishilo playing sweeper in this second half. The ball chipped ahead for Wright. She has Trudell ahead, but offside. And the kick goes in, and the offside is called. Trudell was too far ahead. And it'll be a free kick for Lansing.
Good eyes there, Dan.
From a mile away, Cam.
I wouldn't say a mile. We're pretty far back, but not too bad.
Iris Borman on the free kick, the keeper for Lansing. We're looking at 11 minutes to go. Lansing down by 2. Ashley Bell has it. Gets it ahead for Gustafson. Chipped ahead, and they had a Vanek, but she was offside.
A little bit too eager. 10 minutes left, though. Been a lot of midfield battles here within the past 5 minutes or so for both teams.
Lansing hasn't been able to get their sustained pressure that they want.
And if you want a storyline from the second half, here it is. Trumansburg, 9 shots in the second half. Lansing, 4.
Ashley Bell falling back to get that free kick. Kept in by T-Berg. Reese Todai sent it over to Ava Wilder. Lansing with a cross midfield. They do. On the left side for Vanek. Going up the left sideline, she has some room. Approaching the box. Left foot. Cross gets cut off. Falls to Gustafson. Abby Jones picks it up. She's on the left side of the box now. Cuts back. Cuts back again. Now towards the end line. And pressure was too much. And T-Berg will simply clear it out of bounds for a deep throw-in for Lansing.
Nifty move there by Jones. Had the defender on skates a little bit, but
Last year, Jones had a hat trick against T-Berg. She's been held off the board here. Ashley Bell on the throw-in with 9 minutes to go. 2-0 is the score. T-Berg ahead. Cross comes in from Lansing. Abby Jones with it in the box, and her shot deflected. Corner kick coming up for Lansing. And Petrich will be on it for the Bobcats.
Third corner of the game for the Bobcats. And they've been going with this 4 on the back post.
On the corner kick for the Bobcats.
This is the second one for Petrich. There was one taken by Heasley while Petrich was on the bench. Petrich sends a high one in. Okama gets it. Still in the box. Kick. And the defensive wall is there in time. And Todai comes in. Keeps it in the zone. Still in the box. Nothing getting to the net. And it's just sent airmailed over the net for a goal kick for T-Berg.
I tell you what, if you're Abby Jackson in goal, you gotta be hugging your defenders after that.
Nothing got to her.
There were about 5 of them packed in on the defensive end, and Lansing not able to get a. They were only able to get one shot off.
The goal kick reaches Trudell. There's a turnover. Elise Jackson gets it back to Lansing. Avanek, her pass taken away. Still in Lansing's offensive zone, but not for long as Gracie Wright sends it upfield, and it reaches Trudell. Oh, numbers here for T-Berg, and offside called as Hope Augustine was allegedly too far ahead.
Yeah, that was a little close there. It was a 2v1 attack, but offside's called.
7.5 to go in the second half. Torniciolo sends a free kick upfield. It goes right back to Torniciolo, who kind of whiffs on the second one and has a lot of backspin on it. Ava Walder there to pick it up for Lansing. Walter sends it up the right sideline. Good pass. Gustafson sends a shot in. Rather, that was Emma Heasey on the shot, but it's picked up by Jackson with 7 to go. And Jackson with a long punt to midfield. Long way back for Torniciolo. Torniciolo pressured by Trudell, gives it away. And Trudell still working. Torniciolo hits the deck. And a pass. Gets shot in and nothing there. Picked up by Borman.
Yeah, Trudell didn't have too much help there on the left side. Kind of had to wait for some attacking help to come up. But if you're T-Berg now, you just constantly clear the ball. Try to get out of your defensive end.
Here's Hope Augustine, who just shot one on net. Gets it back to Trudell. Nutmegs one defender, but Ava Wilder's there to help out. Wilder clears. Finds Ashley Bell ahead. Oh, tripped up by Gracie Wright. Looks like
No call there. Much to the dismay of the fans.
I think I'm on the fan side on that one.
Go, White. Keep it up.
Ashley Bell on the throw-in. 5:45 to go in the second half. Throw-in goes off the head of Gracie Wright. She falls over. And the cross comes in. Petrich gets to Jones. Jones with the shot. Wide. Goal kick coming up.
In for the Blue Raiders, number 10,
For
Macy
Abby Jackson.
Covert.
Well, if you're Lansing here, it's just kind of desperation time. You got to get some attacking going. You only got 5 minutes to go, down 2-0.
This game brought to you by Lansing Market, your big box grocery store in a little box. T-Berg's goal kick gets sent ahead. Todai pinches and keeps it in the zone for Lansing. Gets it to Petrich. The ball not able to settle down for Heasley. But Todai is able to keep it in for Lansing. Abby Jones at the top of the box. Sends one more pass to Gustafson. Gustafson with the right foot shot. Too soft. Skips to the goalie, Jackson.
Lansing's getting the attacks going. It's just a matter of getting the quality attacks going with such few time left.
They're not taking that extra touch. It's a lot of one-timers for Lansing.
And that's sort of the desperation behind it.
Yeah.
You still have 4 minutes left. You can take a touch, settle it, and then get a quality shot off.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a T-Berg throw-in in their defensive third. Ashley Bell had it temporarily, and the ball is getting kicked high in the air a couple times, and Wilder is able to settle it down and move upfield for Lansing. Pass upfield, Jones. Jones gets around the defender, pass to Heasley, one more to Petrich, back to Bell, give and go to Petrich in the corner. Petrich looking for a cross, sends it in, it's low. Skips out, Bell, her shot deflected off the crossbar. They're going to say it went off the goalpost for the field goal, so that's going to be a goal kick for T-Berg. But Ashley Bell with a great opportunity in the box.
That has been the best opportunity
In
that
for the
Lansing
Blue
has
Raiders,
had
number
within the
3,
past 10
Ellie Mount.
minutes. It was quality. They're getting
Number
these
15,
chances, and they're
Abigail
getting better and
Mulford.
better.
Something wrong?
So the ball went off the crossbar, then went off the crossbar for the field goal post. As we're getting the clock situated here. 3:24, as you may be able to hear.
The scoreboard says 3:02 right now, so we'll look to get that fixed, and we'll get to resume the action soon. Lansing's pushing, getting some good opportunities, but as you said, that was the best one they've had so far in this second half. Ashley Bell, typically a defender, getting a great opportunity in the box there, but sent it a bit too high to try to cut this lead in half.
And Lansing's doing everything right within the past 10 minutes. They are getting as many attackers as they can up in the box, and then only just having one back.
Referee's not going to wait, and we're live. So we'll line things up soon as Abby Jackson punts it downfield. Settled down by Ashley Bell, whiffed on her clearance. And here's Elise Jackson. Knocked out of bounds by Macy Covert. And we have under 3 minutes to go. Lansing looking at a 2-0 deficit. Long thrown ahead by Ashley Bell. Pretty impressive. Gets it all the way to midfield. But it gets sent right back to Bell, who will throw it in again.
Go, Lauren.
Up the left sideline looking for Lauren Avanek. Gracie Wright is there first and just knocks it out of bounds for another throw-in. Avanek on this one. Going up the sideline. Goes through the legs of Heasley. Another throw-in. And T-Berg's just happy to keep knocking it out of bounds and letting the time wind down.
Of course, clear it. Waste some time. Time is in your favor right now.
Gets off of Okuma, and it's settled down by Lansing. Here's Ava Wilder. Pressured by Hope Augustine, loses the ball, and cleared downfield. Abigail Mulford, the second goal scorer in this game, challenging Kiara Tanishulo. Moves it past her, Ellie Mount. Stopped by Jackson, and we're going the other way. It's a Lansing throw-in with 1:44 to go. They're pinned deep in their defensive zone. Goes to Ivanek, knocks it down. Ashley Bell pops in the air. Okuma sends it off of Ivanek and out of bounds for a T-Berg throw-in. Strong game for Okuma. Throw-in goes off of Bell. Lansing trying to make something happen. It's a T-Berg throw-in. 1 minute to go. Okuma. Her throw-in cut off by Elise Jackson. Looking for an option to pass to. To her right, it's Tornishulo. Up to midfield and sent right back in, all the way to the keeper. Iris Borman picks it up. Punted downfield. Here's Abby Jones. Left side, Ashley Bell. Goes off of Ivanek. And Gracie Wright has it on the sideline, sends it out of bounds. 40 seconds to go in this one. 2-0 is the score. T-Berg trying to get the win over Lansing. And wow, this is going along the sideline and finally goes out of bounds at midfield. Ashley Bell sends it in with 20 seconds left. Covert clears. And settling it down, Abigail Mulford. It gets back to Ashley Bell for Lansing. 5 seconds left. And T-Berg will even up the series at 1 apiece with a 2-0 victory over Lansing. An impressive performance in the second half for the Trumansburg Blue Raiders, and they come home with the 2-0 win.
Yeah, this game was all about adjustments.
Yeah.
And T-Berg made the right ones. Lansing did not make the right ones. Trumansburg relied heavily on their attacking, whereas Lansing tried to play the game a little bit more conservative, especially around the first bit of the second half.